Peace and love, guys. Jerson here. And today we're going to be talking about one of the most important things when it comes to meditation, and that's posture. Now, a lot of people overlook posture when it comes to meditation, and this is really bad. I've guided a lot of people meditating, and one of the things that they talk to me about a lot is the fact that their back hurts when they meditate or their knees ache, and this is because they're using incorrect posture. Now, one of the first things to consider when meditating is where you're sitting. Now, I like to use two pillows because I'm cheap, but a lot of people like to use zafus, which are these meditation pillows. They're circular and they come with this thing called a zabuton, which is great for your knees. It's a flat little pillow. Now, you can use those, or you could just use two pillows like me. Now, what I generally do is I'll place one pillow flat, and then I'll fold one on top of it. Now, this is very important. When you sit, you want to make sure that your hips are above your knees. Because when your hips are above your knees, as you can see, this creates a natural lumbar curve. This creates the natural S shape in our back that helps you sit up straight. By sitting like this, you don't actually have to put any effort into sitting up straight because your body will do it naturally for you, and you don't have to worry about hurting your back like it does when you curl over like this. Curling over when you're meditating is one of the worst things you can do because it both weakens the muscles in your back and it damages the vertebrae, which in the long run can be really bad for you. All right. Now that's the first step. Now, the next most important thing for you to consider is leg position. As you can see right now, I'm seated in a style called Burmese position, but this is a style that takes, unless you're very flexible already, it takes a little bit of time to get to. Now, the average Westerner has very tight hips, so they aren't going to be able to do this right off the bat. If you try, you'll actually probably end up sitting with your legs up a little bit like this, because your hips aren't flexible enough to turn, and this is actually bad because it'll end up damaging your knees by putting a lot of pressure on them. Now, so what I recommend is that you start off sitting in Indian position until you get more comfortable. Other positions to sit in include half lotus, like this, or full lotus, which is a little bit harder. Some people do consider it. Personally, I don't because it puts a little bit of pressure on my ankle right here. But it's really up to you and your body. Now, in order to get flexible enough to have your legs turn like this, you should do, there are certain yoga poses that are very good for this. One of them is called half pigeon, and it's performed by taking your leg and turning it to the side like this, and then pushing your other leg back behind you, totally straight, and then leaning forwards. As you lean forwards, you'll feel the stretch right here in your hip. And it feels quite wonderful. Another stretch that's very good for this, for getting your hips nice and relaxed, is done by putting one leg in front of you and then crossing the other leg over it like such, and then leaning forwards. As you can see, this will put a lot of stretch right into my hip right here again, which is again going to be very good and feel very good for your meditative practice. The third thing to consider is hand position. In traditional Buddhism, this matters a lot, and there are specific mudras, which are also called seals, that attain specific things. But today we're much more focused on making sure you're comfortable. Now, you can sit with your hands on your knees, and a lot of people like this because it provides a little extra stability and support and helps keep you in alignment. You can also sit with the Jnana Mudra, or the Wisdom Seal, at your knees, or the Cosmic Mudra, which helps you feel nice and grounded. Now, personally, I found that it doesn't really matter so much where you put your hands as long as you're comfortable. I personally prefer to keep my hands interlocked and my thumbs together, but this is just how I sit. I've seen many people sit in different ways. Some of them grab their legs, some of them just sit with their hands together. The most important thing when meditating is making sure that your body is comfortable so that you can sit that way for a little bit of time without becoming uncomfortable and without long-term damage to your body. So, a final note, you do not have to sit cross-legged to meditate. This is one of my personal favorite ways to meditate because it's very comfortable for me. However, if you have tight hips or you have a lot of issues in this area, then it's okay to lie down and meditate or to sit in a chair and meditate. A lot of older people prefer sitting in chairs or lying down because their hips and their knees start to ache, and it's just more comfortable for them. The most important thing to remember when you're meditating is that you keep a straight spine to promote positive energy flow and to stay alert. In a chair, you should keep sitting straight. Don't lean against the back of the chair. Keep a straight back and stay nice and alert. And so, just like always, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you have any questions on meditation or on anything that you'd like to know more, don't forget to comment below and check the description because I'll be putting links to where you can get zafus, where you can get zabutons, and other useful websites for learning better posture when it comes to meditation. And as always, peace and love, beauties. Have a good time.